Thank you for your interest in the Erie Metropolitan Planning Organization's Long Range Transportation Plan 2050 update. Have you ever wondered how decisions are made to construct improvements at one location rather than another? It all starts with the Long Range Transportation Plan. The plan is locally driven. The plan must meet federal and state guidance. The impacts of the plan must be measurable. In other words, we have to determine how each policy or project included in the plan will help meet the plan's goals and objectives. The plan must be fiscally constrained. There is simply not enough money to fund all of the region's needs. To that end, projects are prioritized based on the region's priorities, and projects are implemented through the MPO Transportation Improvement Program. The plan must also be updated every 5 years. Well, how has the plan changed over time? In 2012, a major update to the plan occurred. We had conducted additional public feedback on emphasis areas from residents and businesses throughout the county. Through that outreach, we were able to determine that some of the most important factors to the residents of Erie County were highway access, local roads, and waterfront access, followed closely by sidewalks, trails, bike amenities, and parking. We also conducted specific outreach throughout Erie County on transportation improvements. One of the elements that we had identified through that outreach was a height-restricted bridge underpass along US 6N in Mill Village. This underheight bridge restriction was actually causing freight from the southeast portion of the county that wanted to go to I-79 and go south, actually had to navigate all the way up to I-90 to access Interstate 79, which was a very significant detour. It was impacting their economic competitiveness. One of the other improvements to the plan in 2012 was a focus on scenario planning. What we mean by scenario planning in this case was evaluating alternative investment strategies. What we did is we compared the status quo, which at the time was a focus on major highway widening projects, and the scenarios that we evaluated, including shifting 20% of the discretionary spending to intersection improvements, or shifting 20% of the discretionary spending to elements such as transit, bike, and pedestrian improvements. In both of those alternative investment scenarios were compared to the status quo to see how they would impact the quality of life and the economic competitiveness of Erie County. Once the scenarios were evaluated and compared to the performance measures in the plan, it was determined that there would be a change in focus from the major capacity adding projects to more operational improvements spread throughout the county, because they resulted in the most significant benefits for the businesses, residents, and visitors to Erie County. In 2017, the plan was updated again. It built off the success of the 2012 plan with a further emphasis on performance-based planning. What we mean by performance-based planning is identifying clear goals and objectives in performance measures. We then take those goals and objectives and performance measures and we identify alternatives that we evaluate, and we prioritize projects based on those goals and objectives. Those projects then get programmed and constructed, and once the projects are constructed, we measure the success in those projects in helping achieve actual improvements that are measurable and quantifiable after they are implemented. We also conducted additional outreach at the beginning of the plan at locations that were distributed throughout the county so that we could get as many diverse perspectives on transportation needs as we can. The plan was also updated with an increased focus on accessibility as a measurement of success. And what we mean by accessibility is how easy is it for you to access key destinations throughout the county through different modes of travel that are important to you. For example, one of the needs that was identified was access to grocery stores via sidewalk, particularly for those populations that don't own their own personal cars. So we were able to measure that accessibility as part of the plan. In addition, we were able to measure the accessibility to parks via sidewalk, which through our outreach was determined that was an important factor for the quality of life to the residents of Erie County. Another enhancement to the plan included following the PennDOT Connects process. This process led us to add 2 new sections to the plan. The first was tracking betterment projects. What we mean by betterment projects are projects that will not be programmed individually on the Transportation Improvement Program, but can be accomplished during a PennDOT, municipal, or county maintenance project. The other new element was tracking local projects. These are projects that are not on the federal aid highway system and therefore can't be funded through the long-range transportation planning project, but they are tracked so that when municipalities or the county conduct projects in the area or pursue grant funding, they can use that to help get those projects implemented. So how can you help us continue to improve the plan? Well, every plan update, we have to make very difficult decisions on how to prioritize and fund projects throughout the county. You can help us improve the prioritization process by taking an online survey where we can better understand where you see needs and where you would like to see funding invested on transportation projects throughout the county. You can also help us improve the plan by helping determine where to invest limited resources. You can do that through using the online mapping tool that's available on the county's website, where you can identify different traffic, pedestrian, bicycle, transit, safety, land use, freight, stormwater management, or other concerns throughout the county. It's easy to click on a location, update your concern. If you're on a cell phone, you can take a picture and upload the picture to the online mapping tool. And you can use that to help us identify very specific locations where there are transportation needs or project ideas. The online survey and online mapping tool can both be accessed at www.surveymonkey.com/r/Erie LRTP or using the QR code below. If you would like a paper survey, please email pcdinfo@eriecountypa.gov or call 814-451-6336. We appreciate your time and look forward to hearing from you.